Good Wednesday afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Nutmeg Sports on the HAN Network. I'm Rob Adams, flying solo today. Donald Eng, of course, off doing his Monroe Courier thing. Dave Stewart also getting the day off. So we'll roll through a couple of bits here of some interviews that we recorded from the FCAC Tour, as well as highlights of lacrosse coverage from yesterday. And a game that really turned out to be, well, when you get right down to it, almost a little disappointing. I thought Ridgefield and Greenwich would give us a much better show, but credit to the Ridgefield Tigers as they took out the Greenwich Cardinals to the tune of 10-7. So you'll see highlights of that broadcast from yesterday, as well as an interview with Peter Dirth following the game that Frank Granito did down on the field. We'll also have conversations with members of the Stamford baseball team and the Staples baseball team as well. Those two teams will be meeting in about 2 hours from now on the HAN Network at 4 o'clock. We will have Stamford and Staples live for you from Staples High School. We'll also have a conversation with the Darien lacrosse team, and that is because we will see that LAC squad on Saturday at Ridgefield High School, all part of the Battle of the Sound, a doubleheader on Saturday. We'll tell you a little bit more about that when we get ready to close out the show. But right now, take a look at the highlights, all the interviews. That'll carry you through the balance of the show, and then I'll come back with some final comments right here on Nutmeg Sports on the HAN Network. Beautiful weather for boys lacrosse for a Tuesday afternoon on the HAN Network. Good afternoon, everyone. With Frank Granito and AJ Simonowski, I'm Rob Adams. Rain early April. 2 flags fly. And they score to get things started at 7:28. It's 1-0. He tries to make a move, gets around the man, tries for a ground ball, and he scores. That's one way to get it going. Greenwich cuts the lead in half. It's 2-1. So 3-1 the score now, and Ridgefield comes away with the loose ball off the face-off, and Levesque scores 4-1.
Frank, what was that you were saying about individual efforts?
Oh, just in a huge turn of events right now.
To the far side. Peter Dirth gets in close. Another one.
Footballs, for that matter, now that you have Swindell kicking.
And look at this goal from Greenwich to get it to 6-3. The nifty wraparound as he fell.
Big stop by Cooper. Good move by Dirth in the slot there. The hesitation. Now he cuts right in.
And a little tic-tac-toe, and the answer, 7-3.
It was the play before. He had the hesitation that bought him a little time. Then he came up strong with the shot.
This was a very low-scoring game early on before Ridgefield erupted for a bunch of goals, and they've got another one. Guess who? Dirth does it again. Sands getting in close, and they score again. Sands behind the cage. 10-7 game, half minute to go. Ball loose, heading toward the back of the football end zone. It's out. Celebration beginning for Ridgefield and 29 to go.
Thank you, Rob. I'm joined with Chris Clem, Peter Dirth. Guys, congrats on the great win. Chris, let's start with you. You were unbelievable in net tonight, standing up so strong. Let's talk about your defense, though. You guys came out with the zone and really did a great job of keeping Greenwich to the outside. What can you say about those guys?
Greenwich is a great team, but for our first game against Greenwich, I think we played a great zone. Kept them to 7 goals. So defense helped me make those clears, and I helped the defense make those stops. So I think we played a great zone in that sense.
7 goals, and a couple of them came at the end when they're in desperation mode. They had an early push at the start of the second half, but you really stood up, came back with 4 big saves. What was going on for you in net tonight?
Through my head, I knew I had to make those stops to help my team successfully win this game, and ended up doing so. But through my head, it was just like, got to make that next stop. Even if a goal goes in, got to make the next save, got to make the next big play to help my team to succeed. So.
And speaking of goals going in, Peter, you poured in a bunch tonight. You guys were clicking on offense from the get-go. There looked to be a little bit of a slow moment at the start of the second quarter, but then you really put on the pressure. What was working for you guys?
I think just in the second quarter there, we had Coach down at our end. He's got a great history of lacrosse, a lot of great IQ there, so he was able to help us out, and everyone just worked well together. We had a great game plan, followed it, and we just had a lot of assisted goals, and everyone was clicking.
Obviously, there are high expectations for this team. You guys see yourselves as one of the elite programs in the conference. What does this kind of win say tonight for you guys?
It's just great for our attitude early. A lot of these guys, it's their first time playing in a big game, so for us to get a win like that, it's really going to help the confidence in everyone. And, we think we can play with everyone, and we're trying to prove it every game.
Thanks a lot, guys. Congrats again on the win.
This HAN Network video is brought to you by Carl Chevrolet.
We're at Staples High School. I was just talking with the baseball team before we got started, and I said to them, sometimes you hate to see a team lose in a big game. We had the joy of calling one of the really true great FCAC championship baseball games last year. We'll spend a moment to let them kind of shake that off, and then we'll move on to this year. I'm Rob Adams. We're going to let these guys introduce themselves, though. I'll start right here. Who are you?
Nate Panzer, senior center fielder.
Ben Gasparius, pitcher, shortstop, junior.
Noe Koi, junior, senior catcher.
You're sure, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Jack McFarland, head coach, Staples Baseball.
All right. Look, one of the great games I've ever been a part of. How do you guys turn the page on that? What did you learn from it?
Basically, we just didn't swing the bats as well as we could have that game. It was a sour ending to an awesome season. We had an awesome run in the state championship going to that game against Amity too, so we really didn't, hang our heads low after that game. We kind of kept our heads up and marched forward toward the end, but looking forward to this season, we have an awesome squad. We know that we are capable of doing many great things this year, and I'm looking forward to bringing home maybe 1 or 2 championships for the school.
Based on what Nate said, Ben, I can only ask, do you guys feel like you're a favorite? Do you care if you're a favorite? Where do you guys see this team?
Honestly, I don't care where we're put. I think our talent's going to speak for ourselves this year. We have us 3 coming back. We have a lot of varsity experience, and I think with underclassmen going to be playing this year, they're going to have a lot of good guys under their wing. So it should be a pretty good year for us, and I have high hopes.
It's going to be a pretty good year, I think, for the FCAC. Noah, what are the other teams you're looking at?
I think Ward's going to have a lot of talent. We've faced up against them a lot, and a lot of their kids are young, and they've played for a while. And I think Ward's our biggest competitor right now.
Coach, how do you see this team coming into this year? I mean, obviously there's great talent here. There's everything that we saw last year, but last year's last year. You guys got to focus on this year. How do you see this team?
You know what? This team's really coming together. Obviously we do have some talent, but, we have some serious baseball players, but we also like to have fun here. We put up the Blue Monster. We call these guys the Big Three. We have the Twin Towers, who will actually be in the lineup this year hitting. So we're going to have a lot of fun. We're really excited about the weather and spring, and we can't wait to get started.
The Blue Monster is something really cool, and we'll be here at least once, if not more, to broadcast a game here. And that's really a cool setup. You guys have a nice field.
Oh, yeah, the field's awesome. I think we have a true home field advantage with the crowd. We get the Little League guys come out to support us, too, during one of those games. They say we have a short portion left, but, honestly, you got to get a hold of one to get it out now with that Blue Monster. So, as a lefty, it's not as easy as a righty, but it's a nice home field advantage for us.
How's your arm feeling coming into this year?
It feels great. I had a really good offseason, a lot of recovery from over the fall, from all the throwing, and I think I just got bigger, stronger, and I feel pretty good coming into the season.
And we'll see you behind the plate. How are you going to guide this team?
I love catching, and the pitching, honestly, I'm not going to have to do much. The pitching staff's very talented this year.
Coach, you ready to go?
Yeah, we're ready to go. We have our first scrimmage Thursday. Kids can't wait. We had a lot of kids try out, so there's big interest in baseball in Westport. We're excited about it.
This is going to be one of the really good teams this year. Not to put any pressure on them. They know it themselves, but these guys are going to be really good. We'll see them a couple of times throughout the season. This is the baseball team right here at Staples High School on the HAN Network.
This HAN Network video is brought to you by Walter Stewart's Market.
We're with the baseball team at Stanford High School with Dave Stewart. I'm Rob Adams on the HAN Network. As the FCAC tour rolls on, we'll let these guys introduce themselves and we'll talk baseball. First of all, who are you?
I'm Nick Federoli. Mark Sergio.
Jay DeVito.
All right, I will start with you and tell me about this Stanford High baseball team.
We're going to be a hardworking team. We got a lot of seniors that went on last year, so we don't have that many players coming back, just us 3, and just got to be hardworking. And so,
when you lose that many players to graduation, how do you guys kind of bring the next group along?
Well, us 3 are going to be leaders. We're going to bring this team
to hopefully the playoffs. We're going to show them how varsity play is, and hopefully they pick up on us, and we pick up right where we left off last year.
All right, Dave, you got my friend Jimmer down there.
There you go. Jay, tell me, what do you think is going to be the strength of this team this year?
Definitely our defense. Well, we have our center fielder back, our middle infield back, a new pitching staff, but it could shock people. The 5 that we have is pretty good, so I think we'll be all right.
What are the games you're looking forward to? Is it fair to say West Hill because of the city championship, Trinity? Who do you see on the schedule and say, okay, we look forward to that one?
Yeah, West Hill and Trinity. We want to be the city champs, and maybe Staples because they haven't lost anybody. They're going to be a tough team, so we want to show that we can win.
Who are kind of the professional players that you look at? Is it a retired guy like a Jeter or somebody still active? Is there a player you say, oh, that's the guy?
Definitely Derek Jeter, because he was always a leader for the Yankees. He was a great player, and he showed everyone how to play the game of baseball the right way.
And that is the right answer, by the way, Dave.
Obviously the FCIAC is one of the toughest conferences in the state, if not the toughest. How do you guys stay focused on a day-to-day basis playing these teams?
Well, we just have to compete every single day, work hard in practice, and hopefully it can translate into the games.
Well, you guys have a great season. You got a game coming up today, right? So you guys got to get out there and scrimmage, I'm assuming. Yep. First pitch is coming up for the regular season, though. Before we know it, best of luck to you guys this season. Thanks for coming out. All right. Nice to be joined by the baseball team here at Stanford High School. The Black Knights are with us on the HAN Network.
Had a sports injury or slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast without an appointment. Biking, golf, tennis, soccer, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or go to coastalorthoexpress.com. That's coastalorthoexpress.com. Like them on Facebook.
Join the HAN Network and Make-A-Wish Connecticut to help make travel wishes come true for local kids with life-threatening medical conditions. Donate your unused airline miles to the HAN Network Wishes in Flight campaign. Over 70% of wishes granted involve travel, and your unused airline miles can help make kids' dreams become a reality. Plus, once you donate your miles to Make-A-Wish, they will never expire. Donate your unused miles and help the HAN Network share the power of a wish.
Walter Stewart's Market in New Canaan is your time-saving local shopping destination for the best of spring. Find many of your favorite products, from great specials on everyday items to the freshest organic produce, artisanal cheeses, and grass-fed steaks. Drop off your knives to be sharpened, grab a beautiful bouquet of spring flowers, and stop in next door for a wine tasting. Plus, their personable staff is always ready to lend a helping hand. So stop in to Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street today, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com.
Can't wait for it to get warmer so you can start fishing again? Get over to the Dock Shop, where they have the latest in fishing tackle, marine electronics, boating supplies, and more. But remember, the Dock Shop isn't your average tackle shop. You'll also find the finest selection of nautical apparel, jewelry, home decor, and gifts in New England. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, dockshop.com.
I'm Kate Chaplinsky. Join us for Coffee Break, weekdays at 11 to get the latest Connecticut news, weather, high school sports, and more. News doesn't get any more local than on Coffee Break on the HAN Network.
This HAN Network video is brought to you by Bankwell. Bank smart, bank local, bank well.
We're at Darien High School. I'm Rob Adams on the HAN Network, and I promise this is going to be an interview with the boys lacrosse team. However, they are 3 Darien Blue Wave football players as well, and I can't resist. Well, 2, but I can't resist. 2 and a soccer player. Yeah, that's it. There you go. 2 and a soccer player, but I can't resist talking a little football with them. We'll let these guys introduce themselves. We'll start right here with an old friend.
Mark Ivanchik,
Tell us guys, say whatever you want, Mark.
Mark Ivanchik, defenseman.
Hudson Hamill, played midi.
Yeah, Jack Niffen, I played that.
And he is the soccer player as well, football as they say. Football, American football, first of all. obviously you guys had a big season, and Mark, congratulations on all the things you accomplished. Same with you, Hudson, another championship. You both wrote the same fun fact down, and that's where I want to start. What is that same fun fact? You can say it together if you want.
We never lost a Turkey Bowl.
Never lost a Turkey Bowl.
AJ Simonowski of New Canaan High School, my apologies. Now I move on to talking a little bit of lacrosse. Although I will say this, one more thing about football. And I've called a whole lot of football games in my career. That catch you made in the Turkey Bowl, phenomenal, and one of my favorites I'll ever go back and look at. So I wanted to mention that to you. Mark, to you now. Let's talk lacrosse. I mean, obviously a great football season. But how about lacrosse? You guys have big hopes this year.
Yeah, we got big expectations this year, and that doesn't really change every year. We always have an enormous amount of talent coming through thanks to the youth program, but we've set our goals high this year because we return a lot of offensive people. Yeah, we graduated a few defensemen, but we think we have the talent to fill back in those holes.
And Hudson, it was, as Mark said, as I said, I mean, championships and everything. It was a huge year last year. So how do you improve on that?
Right. Well, we got a veteran group coming back, and they know that championships don't just come. You got to work hard for them, and I think that early on we've been really working hard, and we know that championships are won now in the preseason when you kind of put your head down when nobody's watching and you work hard. So I think we got a good attitude, and like Mark said, big expectations this year.
Jack, over to you. You put a fun fact down that I like as well. What is it?
That I can beat Mark Ivanchik in a wrestling match. May have fudged that one a little bit, but
that's all right. I'm glad you said it anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
How about your role on this team and how good this conference is going to be this year?
Well, I mean, just looking back at last year, we went 20-3, so I mean 3 losses. I know we want to come back and avenge those for sure. Greenwich, New Canaan, all those teams are really, really talented, so we got to come back and make sure we can pull out the W against them.
And obviously, you mentioned New Canaan, and we've already talked to them. They're pretty stacked as well this year. How do you guys match up with the Rams?
We think we match up well. We're very much the same, and even if you look at football, we're the same position-wise for them. And in lacrosse too, we got a very strong set of middies and attackmen. They got a very strong set of defensemen, attackmen. It's pretty even all across the field. Similar teams in the same respect, pretty much.
And you guys have to be good in the cage as well.
Yeah, well, Ryan Cornell kind of stood up last year and announced himself to pretty much the whole country with his plays, but that was not a fluke. He's back and he's playing great, so we're pretty confident in our goalie.
I often mention what college these guys are going to. I'm going to let them each tell you because they all have some pretty exciting news, some of which we've talked about, but it's worth saying again. Where are you each going to school?
I'm going to the University of Pennsylvania next year.
And you're going to play?
Lacrosse.
That's it. Hudson.
I'm going to Washington Lee University next year. I'm going to be playing lacrosse as well.
Good job.
Yep,
Jack.
Brown University, playing lacrosse as well.
You guys have been great fun to watch in every sport that we've covered you. We've seen you in soccer. We've seen you both in football, obviously. So continued success. Good luck. Have a great season. Can't root one way or the other. Maybe not on the air. But anyway, Have fun out there. Good luck this year.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Good to see these guys. 3 of the best athletes in the FCAC, and we've covered them at one time or another. They are the captains of the Darien boys lacrosse team on the HAN Network.
It's time to come back to hometown banking, where people are taken into account, not just balances. Where community comes first. A place where there's more than one kind of interest. Where they not only know your name, they know your dog's name too. It's time to expect more. It's time to bank well. Bank smart. Bank local. Bank well. Until April 30th, choose $150 cash for a Smeg toaster when you open a My Bankwell Choice checking account with a minimum of $2,000.
A Better View Window Cleaning Plus has been cleaning glass all over Connecticut for over 20 years. They also specialize in cleaning chandeliers, mirrors, skylights, tiles, and will power wash anything that needs cleaning. They hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and are fully insured and bonded. When you deal with the Better View, you're dealing with the best, not the rest. Call today for a free estimate, 203-284-8836, or visit them online, abetterviewcleaning.com.
Alberto Londano Professional Painting, Wallpapering, and Carpentry has been serving Fairfield County for over 20 years. Based in Norwalk, Alberto takes pride in his work by offering you only the best quality service and products. Call Alberto today to get a free estimate and be one step closer to a new and exciting home makeover. 203-866-9635.
When it comes to local entertainment, we've got it all.
From movies, local artists, etiquette, and more.
Watch HAN Arts and Leisure every Thursday at 2 on the HAN Network.
You are watching the HAN Network, and you're not alone. Nearly 500,000 viewers enjoyed our broadcasts in the first 5 months. Advertise on the network that reaches Fairfield County, Connecticut's most engaged audience. Contact Jessica Murrin, Advertising Director, at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
Our thanks to all the people we've interviewed, of course, from the FCAC tour. We had such a great time visiting all 17 schools once again, and I'm now told it's well over 444 athletes that we interviewed. Kate Chaplinsky told me some students got uncounted in the process, and when all was said and done, there were a few hanging chads. We'll get that figured out. But in any event, thanks to all of them for joining us. We will have lacrosse on Saturday. It's going to be a big day at Ridgefield High School. Game number 1 is at 1 o'clock as the Battle of the Sound commences with Manhasset High School from Long Island taking on the Darien Blue Wave. Then Garden City, Long Island will take on Ridgefield in what we'll call the nightcap, but really it's scheduled for 3:30, so I don't really think it's going to carry us into the nighttime lights. We'll have Eric Gendron with me for one of the calls and AJ Simonowski for the other game as well. I'll have all the play-by-play for you, and again, that's Saturday at Ridgefield High School's Lancaster Field at Tiger Hollow. But of course, today at 4, a hopefully very good baseball matchup in the FCAC. Stamford, always a good city for baseball. We will see the Black Knights today, and they will take on the Staples Wreckers. Many people believe the Wreckers are the team to beat in the FCAC this year. That will be at Staples High School at 4 o'clock with the Blue Monster in left field kind of tantalizing the right-handed hitters. But that will do it for your Wednesday Nutmeg Sports. We're back with you Monday. Of course, you've got Coffee Break tomorrow as well as Yankee Fisherman and Arts and Leisure moving you into Friday and beyond. But for all of us here at the HAN Network, Eric Gendron directing, I'm Rob Adams. Enjoy your Wednesday, and thanks for watching. We'll see you for baseball in just a couple of hours right here on the HAN Network.